I'm now joined backstage at the Clooney 2 in Newcastle by Freddy Cricien from Madball. How are we doing, Freddy?
Hey, how are you?
It's great to see you. Tonight's the first night of your UK tour. Pretty lively out there in Newcastle. How do you feel it went?
I feel the vibe was cool, man. First one of 4 shows, and good start. Good start. Good. I mean, we don't get to Newcastle a lot when we come to England, so it was cool to get back here. It's been a while, and then it was a cool vibe. I mean, sold out show, so it was like definitely, the whole tour sold out.
Yeah, it was sold out.
Which is very cool. It was good vibe. Good vibe. Good crowd. Yeah, good time.
Got a few new friends up on stage as well there.
I feel like there was definitely a good percentage of people that were seeing us for the first time, which I always enjoy. I find that's a good thing, because that means our little underground scene is growing.
That's right. I think what I like about these sort of shows, seeing Biohazard and Agnostic Front in Newcastle,
right,
to the untrained eye it looks quite wild and aggressive, but the cooperation of people who've fallen over, picking people up, people from the band helping people up as well, so it's a big lively family, really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's aggressive music. It's the type of music where you come to let it out.
Yeah.
So it's not a Pavarotti show. No. we are no Pavarottis.
No.
But it doesn't have to be like overly, like, you know what I'm saying? We've always had the bad rap of being like a violent scene, and it's like, it doesn't have to be that. You can dance hard, you can just be cool, do it and keep it moving, it doesn't have to turn into anything more than that. But it was good.
It's quite an unusual tour. It's sponsored by Brooklyn Lager.
Yes. It's awesome.
Who first came up with that idea?
Well, they approached us about it, but I love the idea because I lived in Brooklyn for a lot of years, and the brewery is actually not far from one of my many apartments in Greenpoint, and so I was very familiar with the brand, and I've been seeing it in England more often over the years, but I was a bit like, that's kind of cool, like I was kind of taken aback that they wanted a hardcore band to do this thing, but I also thought it was pretty damn cool because we know the brand, we're from New York, whatever, but also it's actually a good beer. It's a good American beer. It's like America gets, America's growing in the beer world. There's a lot of great American beers, not the ones that everybody hears about, like a lot of good craft beers.
Well, the beers are available.
There's a lot there, but Brooklyn is definitely one of the really standout brands in America.
And it's sort of ticket prices low, £5 a ticket, and you get a bottle of beer when you come in as well. I mean, you can't complain of that.
Very classy, man. Very classy what these guys did. They give you a free beer, come in and see a show for $5. I mean, last time you could see a hardcore show for $5 was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Before my time, even.
Yeah. I think the first band I ever saw, Michael Schenker Group, was £3.50 back in the early 80s.
Yeah,
so,
you see, it's like
great days.
Yeah,
great days.
Educate yourself if you dare. You want the truth. You want the truth.
Is this still part of the For the Cause touring cycle, or are you sort of gearing up for the next cycle?
It's a good question. It still feels new to us. We haven't toured everywhere with the record, so on some level, I guess to some degree, it's still kind of the touring cycle for the Cause, but it's we're getting to that point where it's the year's coming to a close, and we got some plans to re-release one of our old records that's going to turn 20 in 2020.
20 years old.
Yeah, well, Hold It Down is going to be 20 years old, and that's actually our 4th record. So we have some plans to celebrate that and maybe throw a new song out with that record to sort of just keep things fresh.
Yeah, I mean, talking of For the Cause, I mean, that was your 9th studio album. You must be pretty pleased with the reaction it got.
I was. I was pleased pleased with the whole thing. I was pleased with the whole process. I was pleased with what we put out, and I was pleased with the reaction. Yeah, I was.
Nearly 25 odd years later, there's no signs of you mellowing out at all.
Yeah.
So
Start a revolution! Start a revolution! Start a revolution!
what's happening around at the moment that's sort of, you know, really getting your goat that makes you want to sort of sing about it? There's a lot.
Yeah,
there is in our country.
So much. There's never a shortage of things that get you going. You know what I mean? Just in your personal life, in our personal lives, in the world. Oh man, you know, everything from political things to, you know, social, you know, personal things, things in our area. You know, there's always material. Yeah. There's always things to feed off of. Yeah. I mean, that'll never go away.
There seems to be more now than there has been for a while in both of our countries.
Yeah,
it's a funny time, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like, yeah. I mean, you used to sing about, you know, you sing about things from a different perspective. You know, when you're 18, you sing it from the mind of an 18-year-old. But now it's you know, you sing it from the perspective of a slightly older, you know, family man. But it doesn't. There's no shortage of angst.
Indeed. I mean, back to the music. You had Tim Armstrong from Rancid producing the record. What did he bring to the creative process?
He was just. Honestly, he gave us a place to sort of do our thing. Mm-hmm. He welcomed us into his place, and it was like very accommodating, very comfortable, and kind of that allows us to do what we do. Yeah. Properly. And he also, obviously, we would bounce things on him, you know, with tempos. You know, we had different tempos for songs, and he, you know, he gave his opinion there. I mean, we came to his studio with the majority of the stuff written, both music and lyrics, but, you know, you still bounce things off. He was the producer, so you still bounce things off of him and see what he thinks. And I mean, you know, Tim is just a real cool, mellow dude and a super talented dude, and so it was just great to have him in that whole mix of people that we had. I mean, we had our original guitarist Matt Henderson with us playing guitar. He also has good ideas, so we had like a really good team overall. But no, Tim did his thing, man. He was just supportive and like would give his opinions about certain things, and like we've been talking about working together forever, so it finally happened. Yeah, finally happened. Yeah.
Coming your way.
Your guitarist Mitz left in 2017. Was that before you started writing for the album, or was that during the sessions?
It was. We maybe had written one song.
Yeah.
So it was sort of before. Mm-hmm. And I love Mitz. I mean, Mitz is family. And it was more a situation where there was just, we were going in different directions in our lives. So we kind of were like, hey man, just go do your thing, and we're gonna just keep doing this thing.
So you still see each other?
Yeah, we just played New York and he was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mitz is family, man. He's just, you know, it was that time. You know, it was a time, and I sort of just had to be the guy to say, hey, go ahead, man, just go over there. We're gonna keep it, you know, we'll keep it going over here, and thank you, and like that. It was no weird stuff.
Yeah, it was bringing sort of Matt Henderson to sort of, because he played on your earlier albums. That gave you a bit of continuity till you found somebody permanent.
Well, we sort of had, exactly. We needed that continuity, and we were like kind of already thinking about that, even going into it. We were already even thinking of him, even when Mitz was still with us. We were kind of like, maybe let's get Matt Henderson involved just for. So he was kind of always there, and then when the decision was made to let Mitz go, it was like, yeah, that's a given. Yeah. Matt Henderson has to do the record, you know.
But you've got Mike Gurnari in now, who's on stage tonight. Is he your permanent guitarist?
That's our permanent guitarist. Yeah, we made him official, and he's awesome, man. He's great.
So where did you come across him?
We met him through our friends from Wisdom and Chains. I don't know if you've heard of them, but band out of Pennsylvania, great band. And he was actually filling in for their guitarist on a tour, and they crossed paths with us. And he caught my eye a bit, and I was like, this guy's pretty good. And at the time, Dom, our friend Dom from Germany, from Born From Pain, he was filling in for us. He did a bunch of touring with us. And so I was sort of keeping my eye out for someone. And when I saw him, I said, I like what he's doing. And then he finished his thing with Wisdom and Chains, and he really didn't have a gig, so
right place,
I scooped him up. Yeah.
Have you started writing together yet?
No, we haven't. But he's great. He plays well. He picks up some songs, and he's a great guy. That's a big deal for us, It's like it's got to be the right guy, right personality, We've been at this a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Which brings me on to my next question. 2019, it's the 25th anniversary of your debut album, Set It Off. How does Madball 2019 differ from Madball 1994?
Oh my God. So different. Yeah, Set It Off, we were teenagers still technically, so when we first signed at least. Very different, man. Very different. We've grown up and we've survived a lot of things. So much happened between then and now, both negative and positive. And but we survived it, so and we're still going pretty strong as far as hardcore goes. So we're
Did you ever think you'd be sitting here 25 years later talking about what you're going to do next year?
I couldn't think. Not in the Set It Off days. I wouldn't have been able to. I didn't have that sort of long-term vision back then. But it's pretty awesome that we can do it. Yeah,
it is.
Just like I heard all your lies for all this time. Why? Did you compromise us on my sins?
So when your UK show's finished, where do you go next? You head over to Europe, or you're back home?
We're back home. We have some things back home. A few little small tours there, and then we're coming back in November to Spain. We have a little tour in Spain, actually Portugal, then Spain.
Yeah.
And I think we close out the year somewhere in the Midwest with our buddies from Old Firm, which is Lars from Rancid's band. And we got like a week of shows with them. And that'll be it for the year.
That's a lot of fun to do those.
That'd be great. Those are our good buddies. So yeah,
so going into 2020, more shows and possibly new music.
Yeah, more shows, new music, re-release of one of our classic records, and
busy times.
The ball rolls on.
Yes. Well, Freddy, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so very much.
Great short night.
Thanks for waiting around, man.
No
sorry for the wait.
It's absolutely okay.
Nothing you say warrants redemption. I've heard those lies before. Can't run away.